Alright, welcome everybody to this festive flight, this island hopping on the Canary Islands. Today we are going to be flying with the Airbus A321 NEO from Toliss. So this is a special, newer Airbus with the newer, bigger engines. Ooh, here my scenery is in the engine, but here you can see very nice, big, large engines. And the main theme of this flight is that the Orbix have released a nice new scenery for the Canary Islands, and especially the airport of La Palma. And La Palma is one of my favorite airports and favorite approaches. So that's why I would like to fly there and then also depart from La Palma. This is a freeware scenery for Gran Canaria, Las Palmas, the airport of Gran Canaria. And also for the second flight, there's going to be a freeware scenery for Lanzarote, where we are going to be flying to. But now, let's just start setting up everything. I hope my voice goes through and everybody can hear me. And as usual, we are cold and dark, and we'll just start setting everything up. So first, we check if the engine master switches are off. They are off. Engine mode selector is normal. The landing gear lever is down. And then we check the battery voltages. They are nice and high. They are above 25.5 watts. So we turn on the first battery, then the second. And there is ground power available, so we turn the power to the ground power. We check the brake pressures. They're fine, and we also turn up the brightness on the displays because it's bright daylight, so we just turn them to maximum. It's a bit of manual labor here at the beginning to set everything up. Of course, I have to do this alone. I don't have first officer, but since it's a simulator, there is no problem. External power is already on. Cockpit lights are set. The MCU and the displays are set at the required brightness. You can see that the flaps are displayed at 0 and also the flap lever is at 0, so that's matching, good. And our speed brake levers are retracted, that's also good. Then the probe and the window heat should be on auto, and that means they are unlit. And where is the problem? Yeah, here, so this is an auto, good. The air condition panel has all the lights off, that's also good. And to not have it too hot in the cabin, we'll also have some air from the ground coming in, and that will mean that nobody is getting a heat stroke while they are boarding. Alright. And then we go further. The air condition panel lights off, we already checked that. The crossbreed is on auto, good. Annunciator lights test, so we just test that all the lights light up. I think they are more or less all up, that's good, and it goes back to bright. The temperature control is already set, and the electric panel, only the fault lights are lit, that's good, and that's normal now. And on the ventilation panel, all the lights are off, and that's here, all the lights are off, good. Then we turn the ADIRs to nav. We always wait until the on-bat disappears. Let's test. Okay, one, second one. And then we go for the third one. I mean, first, third, and second. They are numbered like that. And then for the other lights, strobe lights go on auto. Navigation logo lights, we put them on system 2. I think in real life they do like even on odd days they do 1 and 2. They are using 2 different sets of LED lights, and that's how they alternate them to use them more or less the same. Then the seatbelt signs go on auto, no smoking signs auto, seatbelt signs on, no smoking signs on auto, and the emergency exit lights are also armed. The landing elevation is set to auto, so that's the middle one. If you cannot turn it more to the left, that's auto. Where are we? Backflow. We will be flying with 200 people, so we leave that on normal. And then all the fuel pumps can go on. Alright, and then just a quick check on our loading performance. We have 200 passengers, no cargo. And how much fuel do we need? We will check that quickly. We need from Las Palmas to La Palma, Gran Canaria to La Palma, we need 6.2 tons of fuel. And I've calculated with the 30 minutes extra fuel, should we have to go missed approach first. Okay, so these load settings are set. And then we can continue with testing our engine fires. That's passed, AVO test. And then normally you would also look here at the same time, and then you see what you would have to do in case of engine fire. So that's also part of the test, that you look at those displays. But of course in the simulator it's difficult to look at two things at the same time. Alright, then after that we turn on the radio panels here and down here too. Radio panels are on. And then we can go to the FMGS initialization. First here put the data and monitor our GPS location. And I like to put our plan here, zoom into 20 and then come here to the side so I can look at the route at the same time. So let's just check a few things first. Alright. Then we go to the init A page. We are flying from Las Palmas, sorry, so Gran Canaria, which is Golf Charlie Lima Papa to Golf Charlie Lima Alpha. Lima Papa to Lima Alpha, indeed. And our alternate airport is Tenerife Sur, which is Golf Charlie Tango Sierra, Golf Charlie Tango Sierra, that's Tenerife South. And our flight number is Iberia Express, is India Bravo Sierra, and 2185 as usual. Then I check our position, it's 27563, 27563 and 15233, 15233. Our cost index for today's flight is 12. And our planned altitude is flight level 200. And we align the IRS now, which will take a few minutes. We can already close this set flight plan because that's going to be the position we are using it. And since there is ATC online, very nice, we will contact ATC and request an IFR clearance. In the meantime, if there is any questions on the stream, feel free to write it on the chat and then I will try answering the questions after we take off and things have settled down a bit. I'm also going to just quickly write a message to the other people who are flying to tell them that I'm not listening on our voice channel because it's going to be too much if I have to listen to the voice channel at the same time as flying, just to let them know that I am on the way to setting up. Alright, that's done, and then let's connect. So tower is going to be 118.3. We can tune that here, 118.3. I'm already connected to the IVAO network, 118.3. And then the next frequency going to be
Divine 1214, please stand by.
Canarias control at 127.5, so we can prepare that. 126.5, and then we are prepared for the rest. 126.5, 126.5, good. Okay. What we already know is for the flight plan that we are leaving from La Palma, and then we will ask now for our clearance because we don't know exactly, not La Palma, Gran Canaria.
Line 1214, please revise your flight plan. Departure is at Echo 3 Alpha.
Echo 3 Alpha, BLN 1214.
Sorry, 1214, correction. Departure is at Echo 4 Alpha. 4 Alpha.
Echo 4 Alpha, BLN 1214.
Okay, so we already know we are expecting Araku 4 Alpha. And the runway we don't know yet because I haven't heard, but we will contact them and we'll see. What's the current information in Information Bravo? Information Bravo and the QNH. We'll take that from the sim. Yeah, QNH is 1015. 1015. Okay. Good. And this is Gran Canaria Tower, right? Gran Canaria Tower, alright. Gran Canaria Tower, Iberia Express 2185, good afternoon.
Iberia Express 2185, Gran Canaria Tower, go ahead.
Iberia Express 2185 and Airbus A321 NEO at stand 9 with information Bravo requesting IFR clearance to La Palma.
Iberia Express 2185, flight plan to La Palma is approved. Departure is at Echo 4 Alpha, active runway for departure is 03 right, initial climb is 6,000 feet and squawk code is 6372.
We are clear to La Palma via the Araco 4 Alpha departure, initial climb is 6,000 feet, squawk is 6372, and could you tell us which runway is active, 03 left or right?
Iberia Express 2185, active runway for departure is 03 right.
Runway 03 right, thank you, Iberia Express 2185.
And runway 2562 is ready for push and start.
Radar 2562, standby. Iberia Express 2185, readback is correct, call back when ready for the pushback and stand up.
We'll call for push and start, Iberia Express 2185. Okay, that's good.
Pizza 203, 101,0 grados a 5 nudos, autorizado a despegar, pista 03 derecha.
Autorizado a despegar, ISAR 203.
So we have our clearance, the transponder code is set 6372, and we have already set our transponder to show more of the traffic above us because we're really climbing up.
Pushback and start up approved, facing south.
Pushback and start up approved, facing south. And 2562.
Alright, initial climb is 6000 is set, and there is a question. Hank is asking how much separation do we need landing in La Palma. Indeed, backtrack will be most likely required, so I would assume 4 minutes should be enough, I think, because the backtrack is not so long.
Line 1214, are you ready to copy?
Should be fine.
Ready to copy, BLN 1214.
Okay.
Line 1214, flight line to La Palma is approved. Departure is at Echo 4 Alpha, active runway for departure is 03 right. Initial climb to 6,000 feet and squawk code is 6323.
Squawk 6323 and clear to La Palma via the Araco 4 Alpha departure for runway 03 right. The climb level is 6,000 feet, BLN 1214.
Line 1214, readback is correct. Control when ready for pushback and start up.
Well, cool.
So for the arrival, there is no standard arrival route to La Palma, but from Araco already the approach starts, and it's one of those approaches which is not perfectly well programmed in the
Gran
Toliss.
Canaria Tower, very good afternoon. Iberia 5961 at stand Tango 13 with information Bravo, request clearance to La Palma.
But I will talk about that later, because we'll take off and there's going to be some time.
5961, standby please.
Okay, and the radar can go
Sí,
on.
Airbus A321 contacte Gran Canaria Centro, el 26,5 y hasta otra y buena toma en South de Golf.
Gracias, Torre, hasta la próxima. Isar 2-3.
Okay, we need the airport chart. Whoops, not this one. The airport chart. Okay, and maybe the taxi parking stand charts, because that shows the taxi routes better. We are here at 09.
Hola, Centro, muy buenas. Ofrece 124 en Tenerife. Solicitamos autorización para nuestro plan de vuelo.
And we need the departure chart, because there is a bit of manual work here.
Iberia 561, ready to copy?
Ready to copy, Iberia 561.
Iberia 561, revise your flight plan. Departure is at Echo 4 Alpha.
We'll go, Iberia 561.
Wait, are we disconnected? No, we are not disconnected. Good. It just sounded like. Hello, Jana. I'm happy you are also here. So there is a manual lag in our departure,
Say yes, please, for Iberia 561.
which means that we will climb until 3000 and then we turn left.
Iberia 561, please repeat last communication.
Actually, we can go directly to Ecos, so there is nothing wrong with that. We can remove that
Iberia
manual.
561, repeat last communication.
Negative, sir, just zero to La Palma.
And then
Good afternoon, Canaria Tower to United 80 from the hotel established with hotel.
okay, that's fine like that. Okay,
Ryanair 80, Romeo Hotel, wind 140 degrees, 5 knots, clear to land, runway 03 left.
Clear to land, runway 03 left, runway 80 from the hotel, thanks.
and normally we would also set up the alternate route, but I'm confident we'll not need that, so if we need that I will set that part up in a holding pattern, but I don't think we'll need that, so I will leave it now. The only difference it makes is that of course our
Ryanair 2562 is ready to taxi.
fuel prediction is not going to be correct, but I set
Ryanair
it to
2562, taxi
filling
Iberia Gate,
things.
Foxtrot, Romeo, offshore runway 03 left,
So
and I will
first of all,
instruct you to cross
we need
runway 03 left.
The init bait page is 69.6 slash
Taxi via Foxtrot and Romeo to hold short, runway 03 left, Ryanair 2562.
okay, plenty of extra time.
UG015, ready for push and start.
And we'll take off with normal 1 flaps.
UG015, pushback and startup approved after taxi Ryanair 2562, which is taxiing just behind you.
Behind the Ryanair taxiing behind us, push and start approved. UT015.
UG015, it will be facing south.
Okay. Down 0.2, this is the trim setting, so the 0.2 down is the trim setting, and flex temperature is 59 degrees. It tells the engine to basically at what power setting it needs to operate. So we fake the temperature to be 59 degrees instead of the 20 something that's outside.
Gran Canaria Tower.
21.
Iberia 5961, go ahead.
Iberia 561 with information Bravo at gate Tango 13. Representing center, request clearance to La Palma.
And what's the cruise wind at Tenerife charts? Tenerife.
Yes, Iberia 5961, please revise your flight plan. Departure is Araco 4 Alpha. You have
257.
Araco 3 Bravo. It needs to be corrected to Araco 4 Alpha.
041.
We'll go Iberia 561.
Sorry, 25741. Okay.
Request push and start, Beeline 1214.
Fuel prediction, all good.
Beeline 1214, pushback
Goes
and
to
startup
perfect
approved.
plane. This goes to the flight plan page.
Push and startup is approved, facing start, Beeline 1214.
And then we'll also request our push and start.
Gran Canaria Tower, Beauty 738 with information Charlie at Tango 11, request IFR clearance to La Palma.
Okay, APU is started. You can look at the back. And then the APU is just a quick check on my checklist. We have filled in everything for the flight.
GCLA, flight plan to La Palma 2. Departure is at Echo 4 Alpha, active runway for departure is 035, initial climb 6000 feet, and squawk code is 6371.
Say again, squawk code, please.
GT738, the squawk code is 6371.
Here to La Palma via Arago for Alpha departure, runway 03 right, climb 6000 feet, squawk 6371 for Beauty 738.
Beauty 738, readback is correct, contact and call back when ready for pushback and etc.
Alright, so some colleagues are already pushing back. Quite busy here in La Palma, sorry, Gran Canaria. I'm a bit foggy.
Ryanair 2562, close runway 03 left, enter runway 03 right.
Okay, APU is available. Then we turn the APU bleed on. External power off.
Ryanair 2562, close runway 03 left, enter runway 03 right, and line up.
Taxiing to runway 03 right, line up and wait. Runway 03 right, Ryanair 2562.
Coming through the menu when you are ready.
Iberia Express 2185 requesting pushback and start.
Iberia Express 2185, pushback and start up approved, facing south.
Push and start approved, facing south. Iberia Express 2185. Okay, then
Ryanair
ground to complete. Tau is driving up.
Hotel, taxi, continue taxi via Sierra Express, Sierra 3, gate Golf, and then Tango 03.
Could you repeat for Ryanair 80 Romeo Hotel?
Yeah, Ryanair 80 Romeo Hotel, continue taxi via Sierra Express, Sierra 3, gate Golf, and taxi and then Tango 03.
I understand via gate Golf to Tango 6, Ryanair 80 Romeo.
That's from Ryanair 80 Romeo Golf, Romeo Hotel, gate Golf, and then Tango 03.
Gate Golf and Tango 03, Ryanair 80 Romeo Hotel.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Runway 03 right.
Cleared for takeoff runway 03 right, Ryanair 2562.
Beauty 015, ready to taxi.
Beauty 015, taxi via gate Foxtrot, Romeo, hold short runway 03 left.
Gate Foxtrot, Romeo, and then hold short 03 left, Beauty 015.
okay, gate Foxtrot and then Romeo. That's gonna be ours too, most likely.
Iberia 5961 at stand. Tango 13 is cleared.
Tau connected and bypass being inserted. Release parking brake.
Okay, let's release the parking brake. And beacon lights go first on. Parking brake released.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Okay, then starting engine number 2 first.
Very good. Taxi below 214.
Oops.
Line 1214, MI. Iberia 5961, flight plan to La Palma is approved, keep runway 03 right, departure is at Echo 4 Alpha, initial climb is 6000 feet, and the squawk code is 6376.
Hello, this pushback is not really
Iberia 5961
as
is cleared to La
requested.
Palma via the Araku 4 Alpha, departure Alpha runway 03 right, initial climb to 6000 feet, and squawk 6376, Iberia 5961.
Okay.
5961, readback is correct, contact with
Yeah, this happens sometimes with better pushback. decides to do the pushback a bit differently. Okay, so engine number 2 is available, then we can go and start engine number 1.
Line 1214, taxi via taxi interior, via gate Foxtrot, Romeo, full short runway 03 left, taxi just defined as aircraft type 738.
Taxiing via Foxtrot and Romeo for runway 03 left, P-line 1214.
Alright, engine 1 is also almost ready. Okay, engine 1 is available, then engine mode selector goes back to normal. APU bleed can go off. Front spoilers are armed. Let's close the cabin. The rudder trim reset. The trim goes to down
Operation
02.
complete. Set parking brake.
Down 02. We set the parking brake for the pushback guy.
Selecting tow. Standby.
1 for takeoff. We don't need anti-ice because it's very warm on the Canaries, so much nicer than here in Belgium. Also a bit less rainy. And then the APU master can go off. And all slides and doors should be armed, and now we cross-check, and they are armed and cross-checked. Then we are ready for taxi.
Duty 015, cross runway 03 left, enter 03 right and okay.
Alright, as soon as
03 left, duty 015.
this is disconnected and they give us the hand signal, then we can request the taxi. Very nice. Iberia Express.
Tower is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the right. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
Welcome Steph also for the chat, to the chat. And we are waiting for our hand signal that the pin is removed and we are free to taxi. Our guy.
Iberia 5961 is ready for Pushback and startup.
Alright, there is the pin which is removed. We have our hand signal, so we can ask for the taxi instructions.
Right, 2562, contact Gran Canaria control, 266.5, and have a good landing in Palma.
Switching to control 126.5, thank you, have a nice day, bye.
Iberia Express 2185 requesting taxi.
Iberia Express 2185, taxi via Foxtrot, Romeo, hold short runway 03 left.
Taxi via Foxtrot, Romeo, and we'll hold short of runway 03 left. Iberia Express 2185. Okay.
Iberia 5961, left stand, Tango 30, ready for Pushback and startup.
Runway turn off lights. Go on and taxi lights go on.
Hold position.
Timer start, and we taxi. Okay, rolling, brake check.
015,
Brakes are available.
03 right, fully ready for departure. 03 right.
Let's hack that center line a bit better.
15 is fully ready for departure, holding short 03 right.
It is 015, wait, lockwood 0 degrees, 5 knots, clear to take off, runway 03 right.
So Foxtrot's gonna be here to the left.
Runway 03 right, duty 015.
If I'm right.
Line 1214, cross runway 03 left, hold short runway 03 right.
Crossing 03 left and hold short at 03 right, Beeline 1214.
Beauty 738 is ready for pushback and startup.
038, pushback and startup approved, facing south.
Left and right is clear.
Pushback and startup approved, facing south for GCLP.
Iberia 5961, pushback and startup approved, facing south.
Push and start approved, facing south, Iberia 5961.
Okay, and now we have time, so we'll check our flight controls. So, left, up, right, up, elevator aft, elevator forward, that's all good. And now let's check our rudder. We disconnected the nose wheel, rudder full right, full left, flight controls are checked. Auto brake goes to maximum for takeoff. We'll already tell the cabin to get ready, and then we can make our takeoff config check, and everything is nominal. We are basically ready for takeoff, at least configured for takeoff.
Line 1214 and the runway 03 right and line up.
Line up runway 203 right, Beeline 1214.
And here there is a bit of
015, contact Gran Canaria control 126.5 and have a good flight.
Canarias control 126.5 for beauty 015. Thank you, bye bye.
Normally we have to come here and not here, because that is the holding that takes us to the 03 right. We'll take off from 03 right, but we have to first hold short of left because we cannot just cross a runway without being cleared to cross a runway. Very nice.
Beeline 1214, are you ready for immediate departure?
Yeah, fully ready, Beeline 1214.
Beeline 1214, wait 140 degrees, 5 knots, clear to take off, runway 03 right.
Clear to take off runway 03 right, Beeline 1214.
Okay, normally we'll say that we are holding short of 03 left. They don't immediately tell us to go.
Iberia 5961 is ready to taxi.
Iberia 5961, taxi via Gate Juliet, Romeo, offshore runway 03 left.
Taxi to runway 03 right via Gate Juliet and Romeo. Iberia 5961.
Alright, we are holding short. Do we need some checks? Our brake temperatures are good. We already advised the cabin. We don't touch the packs because we don't have too many passengers or there is no rain.
1214, can you confirm you have the transponder active?
One moment.
We don't need weather radar, probably, so we're fine. Then we can report ready, basically.
Should be okay now, Beeline 1214.
Beeline 1214, right now it's okay, yes, thank you. Iberia Express 2185, so runway 03 left, enter runway 03 right, and line up.
Cross runway 03 left, enter runway 03 right, and line up. Iberia Express 2185. Okay, then we can roll. We already turn our landing lights on and we put our nose wheel lights to take off, strobe lights to maximum, and we put our transponder on because we are entering.
1214, contact Gran Canaria control, 26.5 and have a good flight.
Contact controller 126.5. Thank you. Bye bye. Beeline 1214.
126.5. It's gonna be the next frequency. 126.5. And we don't line up on the first runway. That's 03 left. We go to the next one. That's 03 right.
Iberia Express 2185 with 140 degrees, 5 knots, clear to take off, runway 03 right.
Clear for takeoff, runway 03 right, Iberia Express 2185. Okay, we are clear for takeoff. We will still stop because a bit of spacing between all these people going to La Palma now is advisable. Otherwise I'm going to catch up with them and I really don't want that. Okay, nicely on the center line. Heading 03 right is confirmed. Then everything is on, transponder is on, lights are on. Then
Tower Beauty 738 is ready to taxi.
Takeoff. Chrono started. 50%. Wait till the engines pull up.
Taxi via Foxtrot, Romeo and Port Short 03 left for Beauty 738.
One flex. SRS. And the auto throttle is armed. Airspeed alive. Keep the center line with the rudder. With the forward pressure on the yoke till 80. Okay.
Gran Canaria Tower, good evening. It's 136. Full established ELS runway 03 left.
Item 136, Gran Canaria Tower with 140 degrees, 5 knots, clear to land.
V1 and rotate.
Clear to land, runway 03 left, it's 136.
Okay, positive rate. Gear up. Nose wheel lights go off because they are on the gear anyway. And follow that flight director. I will turn on the autopilot. And the ground spoilers are disarmed. And we cannot turn before echoes, so I'm going to take the manual for a bit. Level climb, so we will back the throttle. That's because I removed the manual here, so just after echoes I will do a direct to GDV. Not to GDV, but the next waypoint probably after GDV. Indeed. So we already go to the direct to page and we'll do a direct to that after we passed echoes, and we should have... We can make the turn after 3000.
Iberia Express 2185, contact Gran Canaria control 26.5 and have a happy landing to La Palma.
126.5 for Gran Canaria control, Iberia Express 2185, thanks for the service and bye bye. Okay, and while we are flaps up.
Switch Unicom, what's the decimal? Look for the 1509, bye bye. Beeline 1214, climb flight level 280.
Climbing to flight level 280, Beeline 1214.
Pinter 39 derecha, rumbo 170.
Okay.
Giramos rumbo 170 derecha, Pinter 39.
Canarias control, Iberia Express 2185, good afternoon, climbing 6000 feet, crossing 5000 feet.
Iberia Express 2185, effect control, climb flight level 140, unrestricted.
Climb flight level 140, unrestricted, Iberia Express 2185.
Condor 29R07, contact Canarias approach 129R.3.
Contact Canarias approach on 129er decimal 3, Condor 2097.
Pinter 39, velocidad 180 nudos. Velocidad 180 nudos, Pinter 3.
Welling 9015, ready for push and start.
1500 pies, QNH 1014.
Alright, we have crossed our transition altitude, so we switched the pressure to standard. And the next action item
UPS 124 en contacto radar, suba a nivel de vuelo 100.
will be
Continuamos para nivel final 100, UPS 124.
Ryanair 2562, descienda a 4500 pies, QNH 1014.
next action item will be at flight level
Iberia Express
100.
2185, suba a nivel de vuelo 200.
I think that was me, but that was in Spanish.
Iberia Express 2185.
Iberia Express 2185, sorry, please advise in English.
Sorry, Iberia Express 2185, climb flight level 200.
Climb flight level 200, Iberia Express 2185.
Iberia 0952, izquierda, rumbo 100, autorizado ILS pista 07.
Miramos rumbo 100 y autorizado pista ILS 07, Iberia 0952.
Pinter 39, descienda a 3000 pies.
Descendemos 3000 pies, Pinter 3.
Ryanair 2562, descend 4500 feet, QNH 1014.
Descend 4000 feet, QNH 1014, Ryanair 2562.
Okay, so this is gonna be going fine now, so there is nothing really we have to check, but I am already going to start.
Welling 9015, request clearance for push and start.
Welling 9015, push and start approved, facing west.
Push and start approved, facing west, Welling 9015.
Air France 2510, squawk 1000.
So for example at Araku I want to have a speed of 200 knots because I'm going to hand fly this DME arc. Another
Car 203, servicio finalizado, Unicom para información de tránsito, buen vuelo.
Unicom, hasta la próxima, feliz año.
Ryanair 2562 from Araku, cleared NDB approach runway 36, report on final.
After Araku, clear to NDB approach runway 36, report on final, Ryanair 2562.
Pinter 39, izquierda, rumbo 100, autorizado ILS Zulu, pista 07.
Yeah, now I'm going to
miramos izquierda, rumbo 100, autorizado ILS Zulu 07.
Flight level 200.
Iberia 0952, viento 120 grados, 7 nudos, pista 07, autorizado para aterrizar.
Autorizado para aterrizar, pista 07, Iberia 0952.
Air France 2510. Aerotrans 2510, responda mi.
That's not us.
Canadian Centric, German Cowboy 2510, flight level 300.
Okay, cargo 2510, squawk 1000.
Squawk 1000, German Cargo 25.
Canaria Arrow 38 Delta Golf, listo, descenso.
Arrow 38 Delta Golf, descienda a 3000 pies, QNH 1014, espera entrada directa.
Polaris Control, this is just the Iberia 5561, Echo.
Delta QNH 1014.
Iberia 5961, Canada's control, climb flight level 90.
Okay, what we need to still do is set
UT 015, expect NDB approach runway 36, descend when ready, flight level 80.
So first of all, we will need
Expecting
the
NDB approach
DME at
runway
112.4,
and when ready, descend flight level 80,
112.4, which is basically
015.
Bravo Victor, so we can also do like
German
that.
cargo 2510 identified, Lattice to Papa arrival,
Oops.
runway 03.
Bravo Victor here, okay, that's good. And
German Cargo
256, please repeat.
Even though it's not a
Expect the
VOR.
Toliss to Papa arrival for runway 03.
So even though it's not a VOR, just
Expect Larry 2 Papa arrival runway 02, German cargo 25.
so even though it's not a
Iberia
VOR,
5961, fly heading 325.
Fly heading 325,
okay,
Iberia
the DME
5961.
is here, the ADF is there, so those are set.
UPS 124, vuele rumbo 135.
That's the destination.
135, vale, UPS 135.
Control Isar 129.
Destination.
Uno,
details.
adelante.
Sí, muy buenas tardes. A 129 con plan de vuelo instrumental a hierro enviado, estaríamos listos para la copia.
21 degrees.
Isar 129 está autorizado al hierro, salida hierro 3 Juliet, pista 30, QNH 1016 y responda 6340.
And the transition altitude
Está aprobado por hierro 3 Juliet, pista activa 30, QNH 1016 y responderemos en 6340, Isar 129.
Iberia 5961, climb flight level 260.
Climb flight level 260, Iberia
manual
5961.
altitude is that
Isar 129, colación correcta, puesta en marcha aprobada, llame listo radar.
Okay.
Llamaremos listo radar, Isar 129.
And if we have the wind data, okay, we already have decent wind data, nice, then we can do that automatically. And we have 30 miles to the top of descent, and here is Tenerife, beautiful island of Tenerife.
Arrow 38 Delta Golf en rumbo 360, autorizado ILS Zulu, pista 03 izquierda.
Jana is asking how much fuel
Rumbo
I had.
360, autorizado ILS Zulu, pista 03 izquierda, Arrow 38 Delta Golf.
I had 6.1 tons, but with 30 minutes.
Iberia 0952, liberando pista por un Bravo 4.
Iberia 0952, ruede al Golf 2 por Tango, puerta Delta 5. Hasta la próxima.
Pues vamos hacia la puerta Golf 2 por Tango y puerta 2, Iberia 0952.
Delta 5, segunda por su derecha.
Por Delta 5 recibido, Iberia 0952, gracias.
Winter 39, viento 120 grados, 7 nudos, pista 07 autorizado para aterrizar.
Autorizado para aterrizar, pista 07, reportamos turbulencias altas en la milla 7, Winter 39.
Winter 39 copiado, gracias. Beeline 1214, descend flight level 210, expect NDB approach, runway 36.
Descending to flight level 210 and expect NDB approach for runway 36, Beeline 1214.
Welling 9015, ready to taxi.
Welling 9015, ready to taxi.
5 taxi, holding point Bravo 0, runway 07 via Delta 3.
Taxi, holding point Bravo 0, runway 07, via taxiway Delta 3, Welling 9015.
BC 738, Candidates Control identified, climb flight level 90.
Standing from North Airport.
Climb flight level 90 for Beauty 73.
UPS 124, directo Golf Delta Victor, espere ILS 03 izquierda.
Y esperaba el Delta Victor y esperaba la 03 izquierda en Canarias.
Iberia 5961, resume on navigation, direct to Tango Foxtrot November.
Resume on navigation and direct to Tango Foxtrot November, Iberia 5961.
Canadian Center, German cargo 2510, descent is in 8 now.
German cargo 2510, when ready, descend flight level 170.
There's the observatory.
Can you repeat the flight level, please?
When ready, flight level 170.
When ready, descend to flight level 160, German cargo 2510.
Negative 170.
170, I'm sorry.
QT 015, descend 4,500 feet, QNH 1014.
Descend altitude 4,500 feet, QNH 1014, duty 015.
Beeline 1214, descend flight level 100.
Descending flight level 100, Beeline 1214.
Iberia Express 2185 requesting descent.
Delta Victor, vuele rumbo 170.
Delta Victor, volamos rumbo 170, peso no stop.
Wedding 9015, sorry, so I have to postpone taxi until I check for a technical issue with my radar.
Wedding 9015, no problem, hold position.
Iberia Express 2185 requesting descent.
Wedding 9015.
Beauty 015, after Araco, clear NDB approach, runway 36.
After Araco clears NDB approach runway 36, duty 015.
Beeline 1214, expect to hold at Araco.
Expect to hold at Araco, Beeline 1214.
That's okay.
BT 738, climb flight level 220. BT 738, climb flight level 220. Okay, block again. BT 738, climb flight level 220.
Climb level 220 for Beauty 738.
UPS 124, descienda a 6000 pies, QNH 1014.
Descendemos para 6000 pies, QNH 1014, peso no stop.
Inter 39, bienvenido a Tenerife, ruede por Tango Delta 5 al Juliet 3.
Rodaremos por Tango Delta 5 al stand Juliet 3.
Ryanair 2562, wind 120 degrees, 3 knots, runway 36, clear to land.
Clear to land, runway 36, Ryanair 2562.
Beauty 015, British speed, enable 180 knots.
Speed 180, Beauty 015.
Iberia 0952, finalizados en el de Gol 2.
Iberia 0952, gracias, hasta la próxima.
Iberia Express 2.
Beauty 29, Mike, Canarias.
Okay, I'm pretty sure you'll have to...
Okay, station calling Condor 20907.
Buenas tardes, Canarias Control, here Condor 2097. At flight level 120, expect further climb.
Condor 20907, identify, fly direct to Vasto, climb flight level 360.
Direct Vasto and climb flight level 360, Condor 2097.
UPS 124, continuo descenso 5000 pies.
Continuamos para 5000, UPS no stop.
Iberia Express 2185 requesting descent.
Iberia Express 2185, descend flight level 160, hold at Araco.
Descent flight level 160, hold at Araco, Iberia Express 2185. Okay, we have expected that and we will already...
Víctor Rodar, ISAR 129. ISAR 129, ruede punto de espera, pista 30, notifica listo salida.
A
punto de espera, pista 30, notificaremos listo salida, ISAR 129.
And right turn.
Beeline 1214, descend flight level 70.
Descending flight level 70, Beeline 1214.
Beeline 1214, enter the hold at Araco. It will be one holding pattern.
Holding at Araco, it will be one turn, Beeline 1214.
Arrow 38 Delta Golf, llame Torre 118,3, hasta luego Bruno.
Torre 118,3, hasta luego, gracias, Arrow 38 Delta Golf.
So I'm just entering some...
UPS 124, descienda 3000 pies, derecha rumbo 220.
Some helping aids.
Derecha 220, descendemos para 3000 pies, UPS no stop.
That's going to be a lot more.
Wedding 9015, ready to taxi, holding point Bravo 0, runway 07 via taxiway Delta 3.
15, taxi holding point runway 07.
Cleared to taxi, holding point runway 07, Welling 9015.
Y Pinter 39 ruede por Delta 5, parking a discreción.
Que a discreción, Pinter 3,
Holding speed for Araco. No, but probably if you are still high, then we can hold at 250.
Iberia 5961, request descent.
Iberia 5961, descend flight level 170, expect to hold at Araco.
Descend flight level 170 and expect hold at Araco, Iberia 5961.
Beeline 1214, descend 5,000 feet, QNH 1014.
Descending 5,000 feet and QNH 1014, Beeline 1214.
Iberia Express 2185, descend flight level 80.
Descend flight level 80, Iberia Express 2185. We can also aim
UPS 124 derecha, rumbo 300.
to a lower speed.
Derecha 300, peso 14.
That's the island of La Gomera, and the wayframe behind, and La Palma is over there. Oh wow, a lot of people flying to La Palma. Thank you for joining so many other pilots of the Belux division. It was a very successful event already.
German cargo 2510, descend when ready, flight level 130.
Descending when ready, flight level 130, German cargo 2510.
Iberia Express 2185, descend 6,000 feet, QNH 1014.
Descend 6,000 feet, QNH 1014, Iberia Express 2185.
UPS 124, UPS 124 derecha, rumbo 360, autorizado ILS Zulu, pista 03 izquierda.
360, buenas tardes, autorizado aproximación ILS Zulu, pista 03 izquierda. UPS 124.
See, my sim is still 1015, so we'll set 1015. We can only
Number 118, service terminated, monitor Unicom 122.8, goodbye.
So is there somebody in the
Ryanair 2562, welcome to La Palma, vacate left on Charlie, parking of choice.
Vacate left on Charlie, parking of choice, Ryanair 2562.
So the point of having this radial here is
Beeline 1214, after this holding pattern, clear NDB approach, runway 36.
After this holding pattern, clear to PME 36, Beeline 1214.
so we'll have to fly along that radial actually.
Iberia 5961, descend flight level 100, hold at Araco.
Descend flight level 100 and hold at Araco, Iberia 5961.
Only for the hold, in any case we put on the lights to be more visible. We're not yet crossing.
Listo salida, Isar 129.
Isar 129, viento calma, pista 30, autorizado a despegar.
Autorizado a despegar, Isar 129, gracias.
Okay, we are
QT
entering the hold.
015, wind 120 degrees, 3 knots, runway 36, clear to land.
You can also slow down to minimum clear speed.
Then executed Ryanair 2562.
UPS 124, llame torre 118,3.
Normal central, licencia está south.
15.
Canary Center, German cargo 2510 on the descent to flight level 130.
Welling 9015, wind 120 degrees, 7 knots, runway 07, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, runway 07, Welling 9015.
Other station calling in again, please.
Okay,
clear for takeoff runway 07, Welling 9015, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, under the clouds, we are in the layer of
Beauty
dust.
738, hold at Araco. When ready, descend flight level 180.
Hold at Araco and descend to flight level 180 for Beauty 78.
Hello, let's descend.
UPS 124, llame torre 118,3.
Sí, lo estoy intentando, pero no quiere cambiar. Parece que no va bien el tema.
UPS 124, viento 150 grados, 6 nudos, pista 03 izquierda, está autorizado para aterrizar.
Por eso un millón de gracias. Autorizar pista 03 izquierda, el peso nosotros. Gracias.
Iberia 5961, descend flight level 80.
Descend flight level 80, Iberia 5961.
ISAR 129 en contacto radar, suba a nivel de vuelo 150.
Seguro para 150, ISAR 129.
It's quite a short runway, so we'll do auto brake 2, but we'll try to disengage it as fast as possible to not overheat the brakes.
German cargo 2510, contact Canarias approach 129er, decimal 3, goodbye.
Canarias Control, Winter 39 en el stand Juliet 3, Tenerife Sur, muchísimas gracias, grandísimo control, Manu, hasta luego.
Saludos Waldo, hasta luego.
Okay, so we are at minimum clean airspeed. That's the green dot. When we go lower, I will
738, descend flight level 120.
I will take the flaps out.
Descend to flight level 120 for Beauty 73.
Iberia 5961, descend flight level 70.
Descend flight level 70, Iberia 5961.
Beautiful aircraft, ready. Alright, in the meantime I also have the charts on my tablet in front of me, so I can follow it easier, because it's a bit of difficulty to always look left and right. Normally we'll be still cleared to descend lower before leaving the hold, because we should be at... no, we can already descend from this if they want us. And then normally I will switch to nav mode, and then I can see which direction the beacon
ISAR 129, vuele directo al NDB del Hierro, espere aproximación NDB a la pista 16.
Volamos directo al NDB del Hierro y esperamos pista 16, ISAR 129.
Iberia Express 2185, descend 4,500 feet.
Descend 4,500 feet, Iberia Express 2185. Oops.
Beauty 015, vacate left on Charlie, stand 10.
Vacate left on Charlie, stand 10, Beauty 015.
Condor 20907, service terminated, monitor Unicom, goodbye.
Unicom, bye-bye, Condor 20907.
Welling 9015 identified, climb flight level 360.
Climbing flight level 360, Welling 9015.
And La Palma Tower came online, so 1189. Gonna be the next frequency. 189, 189 is gonna be next frequency, good. It's really nice. I've never had so much ATC in the Canaries. It's good that a lot of people are flying with me, because clearly people want to control when there is a lot of traffic. And also for the second part of the day there is approach control over the other islands, so it's gonna be nice.
Welling 9015, fly direct Coral.
Direct Coral, Welling 9015.
1214, contact tower 118.9er, goodbye.
Welling 9015, sorry sir, I did not copy.
Welling 9015, direct to Coral.
Okay, direct Coral, Welling 9015.
And beeline 1214, tower 118.9er.
Tower 118.9er, beeline 1214.
Iberia 5961, descend 6,000 feet, QNH 1014.
Descend 6,000 feet on QNH 1014, SUT, Iberia 5961.
Beauty 738, descend flight level 90.
Descend flight level 90 for Beauty 738.
Ooh, somebody's very quiet.
Totally Canaries control, squawk 1000 with mode Charlie.
Control Cubana 350, listo para referencia puesta en marcha con plan enviado con destino final La Habana José Martí. A la escucha.
Cubana 350, llame Torre 118,3, 18.3 hasta ahora.
Recibido, control. Recibido.
In the next weekend.
Iberia Express 2185, cleared NDB approach runway 36.
Cleared NDB approach runway 36, Iberia Express 2185. Okay, so next
Beauty
time we can
738,
leave the
descend
hold.
flight level 80.
Descend flight level 80 for Beauty 738.
And from there on we are going to do manual,
EC 36 Kilo Charlie identified, expect runway 07, Ortiz 4 Golf arrival.
in track fight path angle mode. So now we will come back in and then continue flying on the 307 track, and then we have to intercept the 16-mile DMA arch, and that 200 knots, that's more or less 2 miles before 16, so at 18 we can make the turn if we are going 200 miles per hour, nautical miles per hour.
Beauty 738, descend flight level 70.
Descend flight level 70 for Beauty 738.
We'll put these up because it's easier to see in the stream what happens, and I will explain here everything. So normally I can now go to nav mode, which is just a different way of looking at things. And we will see that this arrow is pointing at the Bravo X-ray NDB, and we want that NDB to always point to the 3 o'clock position, because that means that we are flying along a radial. And then here at the bottom we'll see that the distance from the DME will be 16 miles optimally. So now we first turn until we are on the 307 track, and then when we are on the track itself, then I will take over and just fly with the autopilot, not the flight computer. And what we need, we are already at 4,500 feet, we need to keep that till this turn. So that's gonna be easy. Don't have to bother with descending anymore. I'm going to do flaps 1 and tune down to 200.
Izar 129, cuando listo, desciende a nivel de vuelo 70.
And then fly 307.
Cuando listo descenderemos a nivel 0, Izar 129.
Okay. And then when we are at 18 nautical miles, then I will turn left 90 degrees, which is 217, so 217. And then you will see that the green dial will turn exactly to our 3 o'clock position. And then we will keep that radial. So okay, we are at 200 knots, that's good. I will continue slowing down when we make the turn. Okay, 18.9 will turn at 18.0. And we don't have to further descend yet. Just a reminder, we are here and the profile starts going down here. Okay, so we are at 17.9 and we turn to 217, and hopefully, if I calculate it correctly, we will be at the direction where we aim to be, exactly at 16 miles.
Iberia 5961 and flight level 6
Iberia 5961, sorry, second please.
6,000 feet, Iberia 5961.
Iberia 5961, Roger, maintain 6,000 feet for now. It will be one more holding pattern and you will be the next one for the approach.
Perfect. So the fact that we are in track 5 at angle means that the wind doesn't bother us. And now we can start flying more to the right.
Control, muy buenas tardes de nuevo. Iberia 3779 en el vuelo 2 de Tenerife Sur con plan de vuelo enviado hacia Barajas. Tenemos listas copias.
Iberia 3779, Canarias Control, muy buenas de nuevo. Autorizado a Madrid, salida de Abasto 7 Eco, pista 07.
So basically,
QNH1014, responda 0216.
White triangle, which is the 3 o'clock.
Pues aprobado a Barajas, salida Abasto 7 Eco por la 07, QNH del campo 104 y en la caja 0216 para Iberia 03779.
Iberia 3779, colación correcta.
Now we just always turn a bit to the right to keep that arrow on our right.
Iberia 5961, descend 4,500
and
feet.
then when that arrow is at 342 or higher, then we can start the turn. Of course, you could also program this arc nicely into the flight computer, but I think it's nicer to do it manually, because then you get the feel of what the flying of the DMA arc actually means, and DMA arc, yes, sorry. So now it's at 330, and when it's
Izar 129, cuando listo descienda a 6.000 pies, QNH 1014, autorizado aproximación NDB Bravo, pista 16.
Descendemos 6.000 pies con este 1014 y para la NDB B de la pista. Izar 129.
Put one flaps down.
Easy 36 Kilo Charlie, fly direct to Ganta, Golf Alpha November Tango Alpha.
See, we are nicely at 16 miles, so we are on the radial. And now the arrow is pointing at almost 340, so we can almost start our turn.
Duty 738, descent 6,000 feet, QNH 1014, and it will be 2 more holding patterns before the approach.
Okay, it's 342, so we can start
Descent
the
to
turn.
6,000 feet, QNH 1014 and
350, so
for
try
GCLP.
to intercept it at a 30-degree angle, so that's 320. And we can also start descending to 3,400 feet, and let's do that. And we want to arrive there by that marker, and that arrow actually shows where we are going to be arriving, so we can just tune our descent to arrive just before that point, and then we are safe. We can also start slowing down. Actually, I will put everything to final approach speed so we can configure, because we cannot forget to intercept actually this radial at 350, and now we will turn. We want that the green arrow is at 350 and we are also flying at track 350, so normally that's going to be nicely happening now. You can also put the gears down.
Iberia 59061 after Araco cleared NDB approach, runway 36.
That's perfect, basically at 350, everything is as it should be.
After Araco cleared NDB approach, runway 36, Iberia 59061.
Okay, flaps full. Ground spoilers armed, brake is set to medium, lights are on. Let's call the cabin that we are about to land.
Iberia Express 2185, contact tower 118.9er, goodbye.
118.9er for Iberia Express 2185, thanks, bye bye. Okay, and we can start our descent. Let's cheat a bit at the 8.5, so this should still be at 3400, don't go below 3400. And from 3400 we can start our further descent at 8.5 from the DME. So we are at 10.5, we are already fully configured, which is a bit too early, but okay. And our track is good, it's 350, that's the final track already, we are where we should be. And at 8.5 we'll start going down at an angle of yes. La Palma Tower, Iberia Express 2185, final runway 36.
Iberia Express 2185 was on turn runway 36, clear to land, wind 1240 degrees, 5 knots.
Clear to land, runway 36, Iberia Express 2185, thanks. Okay, and then we start going down with a 3.3. I've started a bit late.
Tower, good day, duty 016, park and stand 10, radio check.
So let's go a bit steeper at the beginning. You can actually see here the programmed 5 pad, but we'll make these altitude checks. We are already visual with the runway, so that's all good.
British 016, clear to Lanzarote asphalt, instrumental departure Solaris to Tango, runway 236, initially climb, high level 090,
289er,
QNH in La Palma 1014,
7.0290, so we are a bit high, but just a tiny bit. We can probably turn back to 3.3. We are declared to land, landing lights are on. We are fully configured for landing.
6332.
Okay. And the last thing is that at 1600 feet is the manual decision altitude, so at 1600 we need to be visual with the runway, but we are already visual with the runway, so that's fine. I will put back this to arc, and the go around altitude is 3000 feet, so when we switch to manual we can also dial that in. Now we don't need this here.
La Palma Tower, BT 298.
BT 298, La Palma Tower was after run, go ahead.
Okay.
BT 298, requesting hazard clearance to Lanzarote.
Flight directors off.
BT 298, clear to Lanzarote, via Laris to Tango departure, runway 36, initially climb flight level 90, QNH in La Palma 1014, is squawk 6352.
And the runway is there.
Regular clear to Lanzarote via the Laris to Tango departure, runway 36, is climb 7090, QNH 1014, and the squawk is 6352.
BT 298, playback fully correct.
Still don't see the puppies. Can go a bit left to align a bit earlier because now we are fully visual with the rocks, so that's fine. We keep the same 3-degree descent angle. They are a bit high, I think, but soon we will see the puppies. It's 3 whites, 1 red, so indeed we are a bit high. We will go a bit lower and then correct nicely. The wind is not too much, it's from the back actually. Okay, nicely line up. Still 3 whites, 1 red. 2 whites, 2 red, good. Now pull out of the strong descent. because now we are getting a bit too low. Not yet, but on the verge.
500.
Okay, a bit higher because now it's 3 reds. Okay.
300.
Bit of variable wind.
200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. Retard. 10.
Oops.
5.
Landing was a bit harder than expected. Well, 375. It's not horrible. Full reverse. Okay, we can release manual braking because we are far enough. Reversers off. We're still at 68. A bit of manual brake. Okay, and now we'll have to backtrack. Good. We start a chrono here. Okay, we don't do that yet. Okay.
Iberia Express 2185, runway 36, backup approved, call reaching Charlie exit.
Backtrack approved, we'll call on Charlie, Iberia Express 2185. Okay, nice backtrack. Okay. Here. In the meantime, we can clean up the flaps, spoilers. Landing lights can still stay for visibility on the runway. Don't want to do that too fast. And let's turn the APU on and then start the APU. Okay, APU is started. And then we'll call on Charlie.
La Palma, Iberia 596. Status confirmed with the approaching runway 36.
Iberia 5961 was observing continue approach runway 36, wind calm.
Continue approach, Iberia 561.
We'll have a quick look if our... Yes, we'll ask for gate 5 if possible, because then we can nicely connect to a gate. So we'll say runway bucket to the Charlie and possible requesting taxi to gate 5. So this is Charlie left. Very straightforward. Slow down a bit for the turn. It's not too steep, so it doesn't have to be too much. So I've never seen so many people at La Palma online. Nice, very nice. Okay, transponder off.
Iberia 5961, runway 36, clear to land, wind 219 degrees, 1 knot.
Clear to land, runway 36, Iberia 5961.
Iberia Express
2185, welcome to La Palma, taxi to gate number 7.
If it's possible, we would like to request gate number 5, Iberia Express 2185.
Iberia Express 2185, no problem, taxi to stand number 5.
Stand number 5, Iberia Express 2185, thank you. Okay, nice. It's difficult to get rolling, it's a bit uphill still here. Okay, so gate 5. Very nice scenery from Orbex. That's
Beauty 016 ready for push and start.
A bit annoying, but let's say we don't see it.
Beauty 16, stand 10, pushback and startup is approved, facing south.
Push and start approved, facing south.
Okay,
Beauty
and we are going. Yeah, there is no weird. Why is there no
La Palma Tower, Beauty 738 is on the NDB approach runway 36.
Beauty 738 with afternoon continue approach runway 36, wind 106 reach 2 knots. Your last traffic is in short final runway 36.
We'll proceed NDB approach for Beauty 738.
It's a bit strange that it didn't load in. Let's see if we can connect. Oops, plugins. Working. No. No. Oh, wait, manual mode. No, that's a pity. Strange. I don't know why it's not working. It worked when I tried before. And I'm also quite convinced that there was a blocking system with the distances. Anyway, we turn the lights off. Strobe lights should have already gone auto. We put the APU bleed on.
With the 738, expect late clearance.
And we turn on the brake fans because brakes are very hot. Okay, now let's go with our checks. After landing. Landing lights were off, strobe lights is auto, ground sponsor is around, engine mode is normal, weather radar is off, that was not even on, transponder is on standby, flaps are retracted, APU is already on, parking brake is on, anti-ice is off, APU bleed is on. Then we can turn the engines off. Okay. And we wait till the engines stop. Alright, one engine and the other engine. It's a bit of a pity that I cannot connect the SAM gates, because that's why I asked this stand.
Iberia 59961, runway 36, backup approved, call exit via Charlie Gate.
Okay, this goes back to normal.
Iberia 591, back trajectory shall exit via Charlie, Iberia 591.
Turn radar is not necessary now. And the beacon goes off.
With the 783, minimum
seatbelt signs go off.
Minimum speed for this
lap stand counter off and also reset. Fuel pumps go off. And we would dim the displays and so on, but we'll make another flight, so we'll not do that. What we actually want to monitor is the temperature of the brakes.
016 ready to taxi.
Beauty 016,
there you go.
Hold short taxi to gate alpha, hold short of alpha.
Taxi to alpha, hold short of alpha, Beauty 016.
Yeah, no, for some reason that doesn't want to work now. Range. But okay, nothing to do. And now we'll wait a tiny bit because the brakes need to cool down before we can fly the next leg.
Beauty 29 Mike, startup is approved. I will call you for the pushback.
We can see there is ground services.
Service trucks coming.
Oh, there is ground services at least.
Iberia 59961, confirm vacating runway via Charlie.
So Steph is asking if there is much difference between the NEO and the normal
Iberia
A321.
59961, confirm runway vacated.
And there is not much difference. There is some differences. For example, a few other knobs on the overhead.
Iberia 59961, Roger, Beauty 738, runway 26, clear to land, wind 110 degrees, 3 knots.
And of course the fuel consumption.
Runway 36, clear to land for Beauty 738.
But no really big difference. With the other engines, so these are the LEAP engines.
I see you in my screen in the medium on the runway.
These are the LEAP engines. Here there is not much difference, but with the other engine type, the other NEO engine type.
We have some issues, so my airport is looking very good.
I know somebody is loaded onto me.
Iberia 59961, Roger. In that case, stand for fuel time.
Standard myself, Iberia 59961.
Okay, we'll just load into 12 maybe, because in any case I have to stop for a second, I think. Because I have to log off for a second to be able to show the replay of the approach. And also I need to fill in another...
Traffic information at Boeing 738, beauty colors in final runway 36, have you got inside?
I have to load in another flight plan to the IVAO.
Confirm, we have the traffic on final insight, duty 016.
But this is not nice.
Behind the traffic, in final line up runway 36 behind, backup is approved.
Behind the landing traffic, line up and wait, runway 36 behind.
I think
is approved, duty 016.
What we'll do is disconnect for a second, in any case. Then I show the replay, and then after the replay we will fill in a new flight plan to the next island. That should work. So now for a second we disconnect. Okay, let's disconnect. Yes. Okay, so normally now we don't see anybody else. That's a bit weird that we still see people even though we have disconnected. That did not really happen before. And we are disconnected. Well, that is really strange. Because shouldn't after disconnection all the models disappear too? That's very strange. In any case, let's close these doors for the replay. I'm not sure if I have to do that manually or not, but we'll do that. And why this is a bit bothering that that aircraft is there, that I don't want to show the replay like that. So I will first fill in a new flight plan for the next flight, which I've already prepared. I just have to go to my pre-file in SimBrief and then wait till that loads in. We will set a departure time of 17 Zulu if it wishes to load in. Range. The zero wings have loaded in now next to me, and then that was already there. Okay. Type of flight is non-scheduled. We don't know exactly which route it's gonna be, but it's via Laris and we are streaming, so we have to put that in the comments. And departure at 17 Zoo, I think we can still make that. So let's submit the flight plan from La Palma to Lanzarote. Okay, flight plan is submitted. Then now what we'll try is to log in again. Just to make that aircraft disappear. Iberia Express 2185 still the same. Oh, invalid server IP address. That's strange. Ay. I still have internet, yes. Why can't I connect? Let's try to close this again. Start this again. Iberia Express. Chart. Ooh, so bad. Okay, and we are from La Palma to Lanzarote. Now let's hope misplaced aircrafts disappear. No, that aircraft is still stuck there. Ah, that's so annoying. And let's tune back to La Palma. I'm sorry guys about this. What we could do is to discon, but then I cannot show the replay anymore. Okay, so there's not gonna be a replay today for La Palma. I'm so sorry about that. Although that's also annoying that Iberia plane is still there, because now I will have to taxi through it. But that must be the issue with the network. The other option is that I do another cold and dark setup, and then I have to pause the stream for while we reload. Difficult, because if it's really the network, then that aircraft is not gonna disappear. No, that aircraft is not gonna disappear, so we'll just go on from here. We will start setting up everything again. So the good thing is that the IRS probably does not have to be initialized again. But we'll see. I don't know, it's the first time I'm doing a flight where it's turnaround basically, so it's not that we stop the flight. So we'll see, we'll learn. That's then from La Palma to Lanzarote. La Palma to Lanzarote indeed. So that's Golf Charlie Lima Alpha to Golf Charlie Romeo Romeo. Oops, Golf Charlie Romeo Romeo. Okay, and we will also, now we will not listen to TAR for the interval that we are still filling things in. The alternate is Tenerife, is Gran Canaria. So that's where we started. Golf Charlie Lima Papa, the alternate route. We are still Iberia Express 2185, and let's hope that that aircraft will disappear. We have already the IRS aligned, so that's why we have the coordinates, and there is no IRS aligned sign. Good. Cost index is 5, very cheap. Iberia Express, and it's 280 for the flight level, which is hopefully a valid flight level. And then I will go back to my checklist and see how we are doing. So of course we need to fill the fuel, because in theory now we have a fuel track which is filling up to 5.4 tons. Okay, fuel is filled, the passenger load is set. So that's odd. Transition altitude was 6,000. I still remember that, so I will put that already there. But let's go back to the flight plan. And then the next thing what we will need to do is just a quick check on my checklist. So we have already made the cockpit preparation because it's turnaround. The wheels are still, the brakes are still cooling down, so that's normal. The probe window heat has not changed, so those settings should be all fine. So normally the only thing I need to do is I will put back the seatbelt signs, because I assume that people have already boarded and now have boarded. The strobe lights are on and the nav logo lights are still on too, that's good. The emergency exit and exit lights are still set properly. And then the fuel pumps can go back on. Maybe for turnarounds, well, probably for the fueling you would turn it off, I don't know. The radio is still set. Quick engine fire test again. And the APU fire test. Okay, and then we do the initialization. I will put this already to flight plan, because that's where we need it later on. And then we are at stand 5. But normally they know that because we have arrived here, so nothing has changed in that regard. And we are requesting clearance to Lanzarote. And 5 information. What information is current? Now we check that on the by. Information Bravo is current. Clearance to Lanzarote, and then will be cleared. Lanzarote via the runway 36 departure. We don't know yet, but it's gonna be definitely a Laris departure. Laris. We don't know our squawk yet, so we have to put squawk 2000 for now, and then we'll get a new squawk probably. Departure, initial climb, we don't know. Walk we'll get, and the QNH is 1015 still in my sim. So let's contact La Palma, which is at 118.9. 118.9, yes. And let's request our clearance. That's such an annoying thing. Anyway. La Palma Tower, Iberia Express 2185 again at stand 5 with information Bravo. We'd like to request IFR clearance to Lanzarote.
Iberia Express 2185, welcome again. Clear to Lanzarote via Laris to Tango departure, runway 36. Initially climb flight level 980. Squawk 7361.
Clear to Lanzarote, runway 36, Laris to Tango departure, climb flight level 0900 and squawk 7361, Iberia Express 2185.
Iberia Express 2185, raceback fully correct.
So 7361, 7361.
You have a customer, Charlie, you can start up.
Okay.
Runway 3 Mike Charlie, startup is approach, call race.
This should be easy to set up. This was...
Call and ready for taxi or pushback. Your wings to Mike Charlie.
Runway 3 Mike Charlie, also pushback is approved, facing north.
Pushback is approved, facing north. Your wings 3 Mike Charlie.
That is to Tango. Easy. And then the arrival is gonna be from there already. Arrival is, we will check that, it's runway 03 for sure. There is ATC there for the arrival, which is good. And Golf Charlie Romeo runway 03, good. So that's we know. We will just check how the different arrivals are to Lanzarote. Oops. And then let's see first, no, let's see how the arrival brings us in. That's the Laris, which one was it? Laris to Papa, Laris to Papa, Laris to Papa. Arrival brings us to Moped. Okay, and then the approaches are for the ILS Zulu comes from Moped. ILS Zulu comes from Moped, we can do that, good. So then we do the ILS Zulu via the Laris to Papa arrival and via Moped and insert and all good. So we can put this to plan, and then normally we can go through it and see if everything is correctly set, and everything looks good. That's fine. Then the flight plan is set, and we can remove this, we can put back to arc, we can put the terrain on. Initial climb is set, and then we go back to our checklists, and we put the init B, so init B page again 69.6 to 8.6. These are the zero fuel weights and the central gravity of the zero fuel weight, and block fuel was 5.38. Ah yeah, because we are already using, so it was 5.4 because the APU is using some fuel. That was 5.4 initially, right? Just curious. 5.4, okay. 5.4, good. Initial time estimates are good. Again, I'm not gonna bother with the secondary secondary destination.
La Palma Tower Aerowings 278 with information Bravo, request clearance to Fuerteventura.
Let's do
Airwing 278, welcome again, clear to Fuerteventura at file, via Laris to Tango departure, runway 36, initially climb flight level 90, is Squawk 7360.
And we do no flex because it's Toga, just to hear these engines spooling up. And the flaps is 1/down 0.2. Okay, and the last thing we need is the wind data. And at the FN, the wind is going to be at Tenerife VOR. The wind is we can do top of climb is 258/66. That's a quite good tailwind. Well, almost tailwind. It's a bit side tailwind, but okay. Okay, fuel prediction, perfectly fine. And then this goes to performance down, and these go to the departure from La Palma, just to be sure. The Laris to Tango, good. Okay. And let's see, okay, the brakes have cooled down enough, so actually we can proceed and reset the chrono. Okay, so startup preparation, baro is set, ATC things are set, initial climb is set, speed and heading is dot in managed mode, transponder is set and on. The MCDUs show performance and flight plan, that's good. APU is already on. Then we can ask for pushback. Iberia Express 2185 requesting pushback and startup.
Express 2185, pushback and startup is approved, facing south.
Push and start approved, facing south. Iberia Express 2185. Okay.
Under copy, please show me where you want to go.
South is to the right here. Okay. Can we already start, or this is a bit close, huh? Okay, he said approved. So
Ground complete. Tau is driving up.
Okay, so Kenji is on the aircraft on the runway. He's probably flying in a Flight Simulator 2020. That's why he's not on the correct coordinates. Or not Flight Simulator 2020, because that should be good. Probably Prepar 3D, because that's where the coordinates are always off. Because if that's the gate in his sim, that's bad for us, indeed. Well, nothing we can do. Okay, the doors are closed at the same time, right? Just check that. Okay, doors are closed. Still monitor the wheel temperature. Normally, if it's below 300 degrees with the brake funnel,
278 request push.
Then we are okay.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Around 278 pushback, startup is approved. I will call you for the pushback. You have a traffic by your right now in startup and pushback.
Yes, that's us.
Stand by on pushback and startup approved. Eurowings 278.
Eurowings 278, just to confirm, only startup is approved.
Eurowings 278, only startup is approved.
Hi, boss, at the stream. You are still in the flight, right? I mean, or you have decided to not fly the second leg?
Stop connected and bypass being inserted. Release parking brake.
Okay, parking brake goes off.
3 Mike Charlie,
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Downwind 3 Mike Charlie, taxi via Alpha, line up and word runway 36, backtrack is approved.
Taxi via Alpha, line up runway 36 and background is approved. Eurowings correct.
And hopefully now the better pushback is gonna be better pushback, and we are not going to push much into the way of the Eurowings, because now I have to push to the south. This is very close. Eurowings should have waited a bit. Okay. I think in real life that would have been a bit close for comfort. So indeed, that aircraft is somebody using a different sim where the coordinates are not correct, unfortunately. Okay, bus is also on the way to Lanzarote with Yarna behind him. Nice, good. And then in Lanzarote we'll show a replay for the landing, hopefully. I'm very sorry that I couldn't do that here. Our engine 2 is already available, starting engine 1. Talking a bit too much. This is a nice site, this airport. I love this. I've flown here so many times in real life, as a passenger, of course. I really love this. The island is so nice. LDV G09 is asking if I'm using any visual enhancement add-ons or wedding add-ons. No, everything is standard. Explain, I'm not using
Operation
anything.
complete. Set parking brake.
We set the parking brakes and engine.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Is not yet fully available. Okay, engine 1 is available, so engine goes back to normal. And then the APU bleed can go off. Ground spoilers is armed. Cockpit is still closed. The trim should be 0.2 down. 0.2 down. That's 0.2 down. You can see it here. Nice. Okay. Flaps are
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the left. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
Thanks, and we again don't need the engine and anti-ice because it's warm. The master APU goes off. All slides are armed and cross-checked. We'll do that once more. Door, everything is armed and now it's cross-checked. Then we are ready for taxi and just want to see our hand signal here on the left. Hand signal there, pin is removed, so we will request taxi, but we'll maybe
Wing 3 Mike Charlie, are you ready for departure?
Till that departure, so that then the tower is not so busy.
Wing 3 Mike Charlie is ready for departure now.
Wing 3 Mike Charlie, runway 36, clear for takeoff, wind 200 degrees to north.
Runway 36, clear for takeoff, you Wing 3 Mike Charlie.
Alright, and when they pass us on the right, we'll also ask our taxi clearance. And then they can immediately clear us to backtrack. It's easier for the tower and everybody. Bit of a pity for Kenji's aircraft there in the middle of the runway, but we have to live with that. Really nice. I like this airport. So just as a small background information, this scenery is the Orbex scenery, the Canary Islands True Earth scenery, which includes this La Palma airport. And for La Palma I'm using it, okay? I will tell the story a bit further, but we'll ask taxi. Iberia Express 2185 requesting taxi.
Iberia Express 2185, taxi via gate Alpha, runway 36, backtrack is approved.
Via gate Alpha, backtrack approved on runway 36 lineup. Iberia Express 2185. Okay, that readback was not the most beautiful readback ever, but it will do, okay? Brakes released. Brake check when we are rolling. Okay, brakes are available. Auto brake goes to maximum for the takeoff. And then we take this gate to the right.
3 Mike Charlie, my airspace monitoring command 2.8, bye-bye.
122.8, thank you, service, bye-bye.
Wind 278, start pushback is approved, facing south.
Okay, and now...
Yeah, our wings 278, pushback approved, facing south.
Try to disregard the aircraft on the runway, which is actually not there, but yeah, will not look there. Okay, so we have to backtrack. So the aircraft is not here. I mean, it's a bit weird. But okay. Ghost aircraft. It would have been better for a stream at Halloween with these ghosts on the runway. We have to live with it for Christmas. It's the ghost of Christmas. Alright, so the backtrack turn is to the right. Just follow the line. And since we are in an A321, we have to push, let the cockpit pass the line a bit, because the main wheels are more to the rear. And that's how you keep the mains over the center line. Okay, and now make a steep turn to the left. Oops, and a bit more to the right. Okay, that's as good as lined up. Just a quick flight control check. Left, right, aft, forward. Let's set the parking brakes for a second. And then the rudder right and left. Good. Cabin, call the cabin. We are... of course, I should have put the transponder on, and then strobe on. Wing lights are fine. Nose to takeoff, landing lights, takeoff, and then takeoff config check. All green. We are ready for takeoff. Iberia Express 2185 runway 36 fully ready for departure.
Express 2185, runway 36, clear for takeoff, wing 170 degrees to north.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 36, Iberia Express 2185. Alright, and now we go Toga, but before that, 50% chrono is started. We have also started the timer, 50% stable, toga, brakes released, toga, auto throttle is armed, and again this airplane is not here, don't look at it, a bit difficult to not, but that's it. Alright, 80 knots, so the forward pressure can go from the yoke, there is a bit of wind, 120, 140 V1 and rotate.
Oil wings 278, request taxi.
Airwing 278, taxi via Gate Alpha, line up runway 36, back practice approach.
Flight director should have been on, and why is this? Yeah, okay, and now
oil wings 278, please repeat taxi via.
Gear up.
Airwing 278, taxi via Gate Alpha, line up runway 36, back practice approach.
Well, that was our mistake, the flight
taxiing via Gate Alpha to line up runway 36.
So the flight director should have been on. The flight director should have been on.
Express 185, limit my space, monitor Unicom 122, decimal 8, bye bye.
Monitor Unicom 122, decimal 8, Iberia Express 185, thanks for your service and bye bye. Okay, so we go to Unicom, which is 122.8, 122.8, and then I will talk a bit more about what I made, where I made a mistake. 122.8. Okay, so the mistake was made there, where we didn't set the flight directors on, and then without flight directors, we cannot be in managed mode. So that was the issue. Why are we losing speed? That's not good. Yeah, because this is sorry. Okay, now the nose goes down. See, that happens when you do your first turnaround and you're not setting up the plane from zero. Okay, we can go to level climb, because also not only was in the selected mode for the heading, but it was also in selected mode for the vertical speed, and that's why the nose was going way too high, and I've seen the speed dropping, so we intervened. But indeed, these are quite serious issues and mistakes from my part. So the La Palma, so the main capital, the capital of La Palma, just down there, Santa Cruz, under the clouds. And there is again another observatory on the top. That's where I've been working earlier quite often. That's why I flew to the island often. So once more, after the safe speed, we can take the flaps in. Okay, flaps in, flaps up. And so for a flight where you don't start from cold and dark, but when you just park at the gate and then you want to restart with another leg, then normally you would have to turn the flight directors on, put the mode to managed mode here, and also put basically the vertical navigation to also managed when it's all managed by the Airbus, and when it's following the tracks calculated by the flight computer. So that's where the mistake was made this time. Okay, and of course we can climb further because there is no further ATC, so we can set our cruise level, cruise altitude. It was 280 if I remember correctly. 280, flight level 280, but we'll quickly check that. Not there, but here. So it was 280, okay, so the cruise altitude is set, we are crossing flight level 100, so landing lights go off and we can let the passengers walk around. Everything else looks good now. After a rough start for the second leg, we are on our way to Lanzarote. Okay. Then let's see if we can quickly go to Popcorn Unicom, maybe talk with other people. Oh, whoa, whoa. What is that? Somebody, I think, is frozen here because that aircraft is not moving. I think somebody had a sim crash at this point and their aircraft was stuck there. Or I'm not online anymore, but I'm online, so that should be fine. The issue is not on our side. I can see now on the Popcorn Unicom that there was like 1, 2, 3, 6 people inbound to La Palma at one point. Very successful group flight. Happy about that. Then now that we are leaving basically the airspace, so now the departure is very straightforward, just going to the Tenerife Norte VOR, so we can close this. There is no restrictions for speed and altitude, so we don't need this map anymore. We can close all the La Palma charts because we don't need them anymore. We will need Lanzarote charts, so there is the arrival. We'll simply come on a very straight line, I think from Tenerife Norte VOR, and then come to Moped with the initial approach fix for the ILS approach for runway 03, and it's also the DMA arch, but this I will just let to the Toliss to fly itself. I'm not going to manually do it anymore because this is also programmed in properly in the navigation database. So for La Palma, for some reason it's not programmed in properly, so that's why I always hand fly it, or there are other methods to program in such an arc. But here it's programmed in properly. I can show it easily if I put this on plan and zoom in. Let's zoom out a bit more to that's 40, and then you can see if I go to the flight plan and step through, then you see nicely that there is the arc there, and all the speed restrictions, 215 knots, moped maximum 200, moped maximum 200, for some reason that's not there. Maximum 200 knots, so we should revise that. Moped, we go here and say speed constraint 200. Strange, why does it not want to slow down to 200 there? And why is there so many deceleration? But maybe if we manually do the 200? No. Then we'll just manually make sure that that is met, that constraint. I don't know why it's not taken care of automatically here, but this is fine. And then the arrival is all there, starting at Golfi at 2300, so that is correct. Golfi 2300, and then the DMF5 fix is not in here. Anyway, that's not an issue. So we go back to performance. We are in managed climb, cost index very low, 5. This goes back to arc, we can zoom out, and you can see that that's where our top of the climb will be, and that's where we'll start our descent. Okay, in the meantime, let's prepare more of the charts. So we'll need two more airport charts at least. One here and one with the parking stands. Need. So we are set up with all our charts. This is standard. We have the passengers walking around, landing lights are cleared. All the rest looks fine. Then there is Tenerife on our right. Nice. Let's see if there is any questions. And where the other people are doing, who are still flying to Lanzarote. I see there is somebody just arriving to Tenerife Norte, and I also see that the bus is almost landing, so that's nice. Maybe if bus is listening, but I don't think so, it would tell me which ILS approach they are cleared for, the Epsilon or the Zulu. That would be of course very useful to know in advance, but I guess it's gonna be, but I don't know. I will ask on the chat, maybe they know, and then I can make sure that I'm prepared for the same arrival, approach. We go to the popcorn chat. And we ask which approach at Golf Charlie Romeo ILS Epsilon or Zulu. Yankee or Zulu. Let's talk properly. ILS ILS Yankee or Zulu. Okay. So now we are flying a bit higher than the previous time. Okay, bus is saying Zulu. That's good because we are set up for Zulu. At least I think I've set up for Zulu, right? That's what I did. ILS Zulu, good, perfect. Via Moped, confirmed by Jarna, and indeed that's the logical way to enter there. Alright, we are already reaching our top of the climb almost. It's always nice flying the Canaries because these are short flights. Now I have all the airports, some of them freeware but very good quality, some of them payware, for example Tenerife Sur and Fuerteventura. So basically La Palma, Tenerife Sur and Fuerteventura, which I have payware, and all the rest are freeware sceneries but basically payware quality. Of course for the smaller airports it's easy. And I was going to say about the Orbix scenery. So Orbix toward Canary Islands, very nice package. And the La Palma airport is really beautiful. I don't know why the SAM gates did not work when we landed. It's a bit strange, I will check it out afterwards, because I've tried it earlier and it worked always fine. But, so it's also an ortho scenery and terrain scenery and overlay scenery for the whole of the Canary Islands. But that means, of course, that some of the other airports, I mean not some of the other airports, but all of the other airports are not fully compatible with the mesh of the Orbix sceneries, because everybody who have made sceneries for the Canary Islands, everybody have used the mesh of Spain UHD, which was a very nice package for ortho scenery for the Canary Islands. So of course everybody has used those sceneries. So the meshes, which means the airport terrains basically, are made to be compatible with that. And the Orbix scenery is more precise, and that causes issues with the airport sceneries, unfortunately. So what I do is that I have basically still put in all the Spain UHD sceneries except for the tile of La Palma, and La Gomera is also included in the tile, but except for La Palma, and have moved the overlays of Orbix for the whole Canaries above these. So that means that my overlays are still coming from the Orbix scenery for all the islands, but the orthophoto and the mesh comes from Spain UHD for the islands except for La Palma and La Gomera. That means since the Spain UHD the Spain UHD orthophotos are really nice for these islands, it's not an issue. The only small issue is that if you fly very low and very close, then the mesh is not as fine detailed, let's say, as it would be with the Orbx. But it also means that all my airports are still perfectly fine displayed. And it's also an extra nice thing to have the overlays from Orbx, because that means all the buildings are placed properly and still all the points of interest are displayed. That's why I could show on the first flight the observatory on Tenerife, sorry, because that's part of the Orbx scenery. So you can combine everything to show everything properly, but of course you need a bit of knowledge about the sceneries, how it works. But the main thing is, if you have Spain UHD and if you have all these other airports on the Canary Islands, then you can just make this layering that all the Spain UHD meshes are above the Orbx mesh and ortho layers, but don't use the Spain UHD mesh for the La Palma tile. That will make sure that on La Palma you can see the Orbx. Everything's gonna be Orbx on La Palma, and that's necessary because on La Palma they have made their airport to be compatible, of course, with their own mesh. But for all the other islands, it's better to use the Spain UHD. And yeah, so that's how you can make sure that all the existing current sceneries work and all the Canaries are nice. Of course, if you don't have the sceneries for the other islands, then you can just use Orbx for everything. And I have to say, all the islands look nice in Orbx, but La Gomera for some reason is way too green. So I think they should have used a bit of a different technique to make that, because that was way too green. Okay, we are getting very close and I still have not entered our destination data, so I will do that very quickly. And the most time critical is actually the winds, because as soon as you start descending you cannot enter the winds, so you should always start it if you're running late like me. But for the performance, for the approach, not as time critical, because that is still coming up later. But we already do this Lanzarote, so QNH is still 1015. The temperature is 21 degrees. Oh, so nice, 21 degrees. Wind is 080, 7 knots. And what's the transition level? We check that in WebEye, if I can make WebEye for some reason. Okay, transition altitude is 6,000 feet. And now is the... we are not yet there at the top of descent, okay. And for Class C aircraft, the ILS is 459er, 459er, the minimums. Okay, so this is prepared, progress, performance. We are 14 miles from the top of descent, so nicely on schedule. You can zoom in a bit more, and the destination data is entered. And where is the at 2,300 feet, so you'll descend at 2,300, descend towards 2,300 feet, because that's where we will intercept the ILS. And of course we'll also contact the Canarias approach soon, because they are online. So Canarias control was not online anymore. Canarias approach is online. So I will just start my descent on my own, because we are still away from their radar range. So that's Gran Canaria under the wing. And behind us, Tenerife. Alright, top of descent is coming up, so we can start our descent to 2,300, towards 2,300. Of course, approach might clear us for another altitude, and then we will change that. Alright, descent is initiated. We are in descent mode, and then we can progress. We can monitor the progress page to see what's our deviation. from the pre-calculated altitude, and since we have started our descent a bit early, we are below, but that will catch up with the pre-calculated track. No issues about that. So we will have to contact Canarias approach on 129.3. 129.3. 129.3. More or less after the next waypoint, where we'll contact them. I will jump away for a half minute and then I will be back. Until then, alright, we are back in the cockpit, and I can also see that there is somebody not so far in front of us, so we'll also turn our TA array system to below, which means we can see aircraft more in front of us. And indeed, I can see that somebody is only 10 miles in front of us, so we'll have to monitor that, maybe not to arrive too fast on their tail, because if that somebody is maybe on a Boeing, their descent profiles are typically slower. It's an A319, so I think it should be fine. Typically they fly the same speeds. Otherwise you'll have to hold somewhere. Is there a holding position? Yeah, above Muppet there is hold, so that's okay. Zoom out here and here. But they are flying somewhere else. Weird. On WebEye it shows that they are flying same place, or maybe I have not reloaded WebEye fast enough. Well, no. Still on WebEye it seems like they are flying to the same place. It's a bit strange that their position is so off. Maybe their arrival route not programmed in properly. So on the distance you can already see Fuerteventura. That's the other island. And there in the far distance is Lanzarote, where we are heading to. And when we contact them, we will say that we are on the Laris to Papa arrival. Laris to Papa arrival. Inbound moped, basically. Alright. Yeah, now I can see on the WebEye that the other aircraft is flying to Fuerteventura, that's why they have turned away. Okay, that's clear. And our expected arrival is 18:41 Belgian time, so that's 17 minutes, so we'll be there in no time. And this time I will try to not make a hard landing, but it was not so bad also on La Palma, especially since on La Palma you want to put the aircraft down earlier than later with the short runway, so a firm landing is always better than floating it. But this time let's aim at something around 150 feet per minute, it's always nicer. Normally I only contact approach if they ask us to contact them. It's at 129.3, 129.3. Well, maybe we can already tune in. That's nicer. Okay, let's do it. 129.3, check if we are tuned.
798 recibido, pues me llama en punto de notificación Whisky en Fuerteventura.
Llamaremos sobre Whisky, a la Madrid 712.
Break Beauty 29er Mike, continue Alpha to stand number Tango 3.
Alpha, stand number Tango 3, Beauty 29er Mike.
Estaríamos establecidos en la ILS Subera 01, Twister 112.
Twister 112, el viento 0507 nudos, pista 01, autorizado a aterrizar.
Autorizado a aterrizar a la pista 01, Twister 112.
Canarias approach, Iberia Express 2185, good afternoon, we are on the Toliss to Papa, arrival inbound map at crossing flight level 140.
Iberia Express 2185, buenas tardes, on radar contact, continue distance altitude 5000 feet, QNH 1015.
Continue descent to 5000 feet, QNH 1015, Iberia Express 2185. QNH 1015.
Flight Charlie, ready for descent.
Zero wings, 3 Mike Charlie, descent altitude 5000, correction, 100, flight level 100.
Descent flight level 100, Euro wings, 3 Mike Charlie.
Okay, let's help that slowing down. Because now we are slowing down to 220.
Canarias approach, Euro wings 278. Descending flight level 160.
Okay, that's why we should be at 220 and we are a bit
Zero
fast.
wings 278, buenas tardes, good afternoon, please squawk in Charlie.
Squawk Charlie, Euro wings 278.
Okay, and then maybe the reason why the flight computer didn't want to put us lower to the 200, because then we cannot be at clean speed anymore, but we'll do that later.
Zero wings 278, on radar contact, please after Laris intersection, flight direct Coput, Kilo Oscar Papa Uniform Delta.
Direct to Corput, after Laris intersection, Euro wings 278.
Thank you.
59 Mike, gate Tango 3 on the block.
BD29er Mike, welcome to Lanzarote, you can switch to Unicorn 122.8 and Merry Christmas.
Entity destinate, right evening, bye-bye.
Okay, we manually made sure that we are at 200, so that's nice. And we made that even too early. Okay, good.
Eurowings 3 Mike Charlie, continue descent altitude 6,500 feet, 500 feet over circle intersection QNH 1015.
We can basically keep that speed until Golfy and then start slowing down in managed mode.
Eurowings 3 Mike Charlie, repeat please.
Yes, continue descent altitude 5,000 feet over circle intersection QNH 1015.
Descent 5,000 feet and QNH 1015. Eurowings 3 Mike Charlie.
Correct. Break Iberia Express 2185 after mapped intersection. You are clear for ILS Zulu approach runway 03. Report established on the localizer.
After mapped cleared for the ILS Zulu approach for runway 03 and will report established Iberia Express 2185. Okay, so
En la aproximación aquí fuiste 1-2, libra, nos viste por la cabecera de la 1-9.
As expected, everything is as expected.
Usted 112, continúe Tango y Lima 1 al 16, están 16.
Notificamos que puede haber una discrepancia en el terreno actual. Retiramos hasta Maiker 112.
It's quite a long runway, right? So here
Oil wing 278, could you please repeat direct?
Couple intersection, Eurowings 278.
Alright, further descent, and normally there we'll reach 5,000 and then we can also go further. So now that we are cleared, we can actually tune in the 2,300 as cleared altitude. So that's good, 2,300. And then normally we reach that where we have to start on the ILS. Good, so that's also good. Landing lights on, seatbelt signs on, crossed flight on 100. Then we can keep the speed until almost there, and then we'll configure when we start the ILS, because it's quite a long way out still. There's plenty of time to configure. We are not too heavy, so slowing down shouldn't be an issue. Hey, I'm happy that you are still watching, and also thanks for everybody who stayed this long with us for the stream. I will show a replay this time. I'm sorry that in La Palma we couldn't do it. And hopefully it's gonna be a nicer landing than in La Palma. There was also plenty of popcorn at the departure from La Palma with me messing up some modes. So we have also seen that. I've usually not done that on streams before. There is a time for everything. So under the wing is Fuerteventura.
Eurowings 3 Mike Charlie after circle, clear ILS runway 01, report established.
After circle, cleared ILS 01, Eurowings 3 Mike Charlie.
And everything for the landing, descent preparation, the auto brake is set. The frequencies were already checked, the terror radar is on. We are on the path. We are cleared till 2,300 feet. That's where we start the ILS. Then we will soon intercept the radial. So now this time the flight computer will do it himself. But we can also put the 114.4 in to see our distance from the DME. So if you want, we can come here. We say LTE Lima Tango Echo, And then we can see here 15.5 and the DMA is at 3, so we'll soon, very soon start our turn. Nice thing about the orbit scenery that all these house placements
Zero winds
are properly done.
278, left heading 150.
Left heading 150, Aerowings 278.
Canaria, aproximación, aquí subiste 112. Ha habido un error y hemos acabado en el tango 21, le pido disculpas. Y notificamos que apagando motores y con calzo.
Sister 112, sin problema, no había tráfico en ese plan. Así que nada, bienvenido a Fuerteventura y puede pasar un ICON 22.8. Hasta luego, felices fiestas.
Hasta luego, gracias por su servicio y nos vemos dentro de poco. Igualmente, felices fiestas.
So we are at 13.1, 13 DME, that's correct, nice. So here it's
Pero Madrid
correct
7128, llame base izquierda pista 01.
015, set.
Eurowings 278, distance flight level 70.
Descent flight level 70, Aerowings 278.
Yeah, I will see that the freeway scenery of Lanzarote is very nice, just as Jan was saying on the chat. There is basically, except for 3 airports, there is nice freeway sceneries for the Canaries. That's also one of the reasons I like flying here. So all these house placements are from the Orbex scenery, even though my satellite picture is from Spain UHD. The houses are from
approach,
Orbex.
good afternoon, this is EasyJet 100, file flight plan to La Palma, and we are ready for text information. Good afternoon.
Easy 100, good afternoon, please stand by, call you back in a minute.
Okay, let's go back to management.
Stand by and waiting
Slow down,
information.
slow down.
EasyJet 100.
Brake fans should have been off.
En base a la Madrid 128, llame final pista 01.
Llamaremos al final 01, la Madrid 112.
Okay, why is the managed speed still so high? Okay, now it's slowing down, good. And we'll have to report established. So when we are established on the ILS, we'll report. And then they are going to clear us for landing, most likely. So the airport is somewhere there.
Aero Madrid 7128, el viento es 050, 5 nudos, pista 01 autorizada a aterrizar.
Aterrizar pista 01, Aero Madrid 7128.
See that even on idle with a decent path we are not slowing down very fast, so that's why you have to start configuring in time. Okay, so flaps 2, then we can go with the gears. I will be configured a bit too fast, but better too fast than too late. Okay, so gear down.
EC 100, are you ready to copy ATC clearance?
Yes, sir, I am ready for copy your clearance. Go ahead, please.
EC 100, you're clear to destination La Palma via route flight plan, standard departure Laris 5 Quebec, for runway 01, initial altitude 4,000 feet, and your squawk 6374.
And flaps full.
Okay, estimated departure Laris 5 Quebec, runway service 01, initial altitude 5,000 feet, squad 6374, I called you back, we were ready for taxi and pushback, EasyJet 100.
EasyJet 100, correct, brake, Eurowings 278, left heading 100 and distance 5,000 feet.
Right, so
left heading 100 and descent 5,000 feet.
Initial fix, and as soon as we pass Golfi, I will arm approach. Okay, arm approach, autopilot 1 and 2 on. Now the localizer is already captured, and then we can report.
Abandonando pista por Eco 6, Aero Madrid 718.
Aeromadrid 7128, pues ruede por Lima 3 y Alfa, parking de aviación general.
Lima 3 y Alfa, aviación general, Aero Madrid 7128.
Okay, now I will report when fully established on the ILS. So we are still holding the altitude, the glide slope mode is armed, and now the diamond is coming lower, and then we'll intercept the glide slope and then start descending on the ILS, and then when that's done I will report fully established on the ILS for the landing clearance. But we are quite slow, so we are far out still. That happens when you configure a bit
Winds 278, continue descent altitude 3000 feet.
Continue descent until 2000 feet. Highway.
Okay, so now you see that we are on glide slope capture, and then when the white and the star disappeared, glide slope.
Iberia Express 2185, confirm established.
Iberia Express 2185 fully established, runway 03.
Iberia Express 2185, contact tower, frequency 120.70. Adiós.
120.70 for tower, Iberia Express 2185. Thank you. Okay, so the even tower is online, 120.70. Okay, let's do this quickly because I don't have time. 120.70. Tower tuned, okay. And what is this? Lanzarote Tower. Lanzarote Tower, Iberia Express 2185. Good afternoon, fully established on the ILS runway 03.
Good afternoon, Iberia Express 2185. You are clear to land runway 03. Wind is 080, 98 knots.
Clear to land runway 03, Iberia Express 2185. Alright, we're clear to land. Everything looks good. Everything is green. Cabin is ready. Ground spoilers arms. Flaps are full down. 3 greens. All the landing lights are on. So now we just have to make a nice landing. Flaps are fully out. Soon we'll switch to manual. Look at the beautiful scenery.
1000.
Okay, we're at 1000. The minimums are at 459er. So in any case we'll go manual very soon. And then where we'll vacate probably, the one thing we can still do a bit late is to set the go around altitude at 5000 feet. Should we have to go around, and then let's manual disconnect. The flight directions are off, and then we are fully manual.
500.
We can still follow the diamonds as a help, but
400. 300.
It's high, given the puppies.
200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. Retard. 10. 5.
A bit floating. Okay, not the best landing. Reverser maximum. Can we still take that exit? I don't think so. No. We'll go till the end. Okay, reversers normal, press normal. And then we'll go manual brake when we are at like 30. Okay, and let's roll till the end, and then vacate at Echo 1. And we pass the holding line and then we report runway vacated. Oops. Okay, Iberia Express 2185, runway vacated.
Iberia Express 2185, if you can change with ground 1218, hello, gracias.
Ground at 121.8, thanks, bye bye, Iberia Express 2185. Okay, there is even ground, wow. 121.8, okay. Where are we? Lanzarote ground. Let's switch this first off. Clean up the flaps, spoilers, landing lights off. This to taxi, and the APU on, and start it, and then we'll contact ground. Start. Okay. Now we can contact ground. Lanzarote ground, Iberia Express 2185. Good evening, runway 03 vacated at Echo 1.
Good afternoon, Iberia Express 2185. Do you have a standard preference?
No, we don't have a preferred gate, thanks.
Good, Iberia Express 2185. Taxi via Romeo, gate Alpha to stand 12.
Taxi via Romeo, gate Alpha to stand 12, Iberia Express 2185. Okay, and 12. Okay, maybe I could have asked stand at Terminal 1, but I didn't, so... Anyway. Yeah, it's quite nice. We had approach, tower and ground on the Canaries. Basically we had ATC all the time except for on the second leg. When we were in the control, but I think it's very good. Okay, so gate Alpha is immediately to the right. Maybe I will still ask the ground to give us Tango 2. I don't know why there is a bit of stuttering in the ground. Lanzarote Grand from the Iberia Express 2185. If it's possible, we would still like to request a stand Tango 2.
Iberia Express 2185. But for sure you can go to Tango 2, continue taxi straight out, and then gate Tango 2. Perfect.
Roger, taxi to stand to gate Tango 2. Thanks very much, Iberia Express 2185. Alright, then we go to Tango 2. Good. And let's hope here the parking docking system works, and then I can also show that. And thanks, Steph. Happy to have you on our stream as a viewer, and I'm happy that you enjoyed it. I also had fun streaming again. Don't do that very often, but it's always fun. Flying on the Canaries, I also always really like it, but I've already said that. Okay, so we go to Tango 2, and I hope that's one where there is a gate, because I remember one of these don't have a gate, but I think Tango 2 definitely has. Yeah, that should be. I think it's Tango 7 which doesn't have one. And this scenery is freeware, so it's really nice. It's actually from the company or the designer studio, who've also made a payware scenery for Fuerteventura, so this was their first scenery in the Canaries. they decided to do that freeware, which is of course very nice for us. Okay, so here's Tango 2. Let's slow down, and then let's try turning there nicely. A bit further with the nose. Okay, and try to be on the center line. I think it's going well. Yeah, it's nice. And then we can have a look. We are a bit to the left. Up. Bit more. Okay, good. Came in a bit hot, but exactly at the good position. Yeah, I think this is good. Good enough. Okay, after the Indian parking, the runway turn off lights go off, nose lights go off, the strobe lights should have been already auto after leaving the runway. The transponder was already on standby, and then the APU is already available, so APU bleed goes on, and the brake fan can go also on. And then engine 1 off, engine 2 off, and then we can see this time properly the docking doing its job. Ah, nice. So that should have happened also in La Palma. Unfortunately there it didn't work out like that. Okay, then that's done. The terror radar can go off. We don't need these anymore. We stop the timer and also stop the chrono. Reset that. We can also reset that and also reset that. Good. The engines have already stopped, so the beacon lights can go off. Beacon lights are off, and then the seatbelt signs can also go off. And the fuel pumps go off. Transponder is already standby, and now we would also dim the displays, but maybe I will leave that on now because I still want to show the replay for those who are with us and also for those who will watch the stream as a recording and not as a live stream. The only thing is that I want to wait a few more minutes, maybe 2 minutes, so that on the tracker the whole flight is nicely recorded, and then we will do a replay and we will maybe report on the blocks. Iberia Express 2185 is on the blocks.
Iberia Express 2185, welcome to Lanzarote, and you can switch to Unicom 122.8.
Thank you, frequency change is approved, Unicom 122.8, Iberia Express 2185, and enjoy the rest of the weekend. The weekend, right? It's still Sunday. It's difficult to follow in the holiday period. Okay, we have switched to Unicom. Very much thanks for all the controllers on La Palma, on the Canaries, who were here and helped us. And of course, thanks for everybody who flew with us together from the Popcorn Unicorn channel of the Belux IVAO division. It was a very nice flight. I had fun. And then we will show the replay now. So let's disconnect from the network. We go offline. And then we can show the replay. Okay, then replay. Okay, that's a bit far out. Let's go a bit closer. And we will see how floated this landing was. A bit difficult because I switch very often between the A319 and the A321, and of course their flaring properties are very different. So if I don't fly with the same aircraft all the time, then my landings are always a bit off. That's okay. Right, let's enjoy the landing. First, Yeah, too early flare. The issue was a too early flare, and then here I just wanted to put it down because I didn't want to float it too far. Not a horrible landing. It was not my best landing. Okay, let's see. Maybe one from the tower to just fast forward. One from the wing and one from the tower or the runway. Okay, let's do one wing view, it's always nice. As if we were the passengers. Yeah, here you can see it floated and then I try to put it down and of course then it gets a bit harder. It's not a hard landing, 250 is not hard, but still. Yeah, bit too much flare, and that's why I floated. But okay, I take a floated landing. Alright. Then just quickly shutting down the plane and then we are done for today. So normally we would dim all screens. The wheels, how are they doing? We would not yet shut down because the brakes need to cool down. But yeah, it's a simulator, so we don't really mind that now. Everything gets dimmed. So let's assume that the brakes are already cold enough, then it would turn the cooling off. And the parking brake is on, the AD rules go off. All exterior lights go off. And the no smoking signs can go off, the emergency lights can go off, APU bleed can go off, APU master switch can go off, and then we turn off the batteries. Then as soon as the APU is pulling down and the power is stopped being provided, then the aircraft is going to turn itself off to complete cold, and you are not cold anymore but a complete dark state. Ciao Jan, thanks for watching. Thanks for staying till the end, for everybody who stayed, for everybody who flew along. And I will see you the next time when we fly, hopefully. Alright, thanks for coming and enjoy the rest of the holidays. Bye bye.